Hi everyone and welcome back to this week's HubKids. I can't believe another week's flown by already, but it's great to be back with you. Now I want you to have a little think. Can you think back to the best day of your life so far? I wonder when it was. Where were you? Who was there with you? What were you up to? What were you celebrating maybe? I don't know. I've had a little think and I'm going to show a picture to you of what I think for me was one of, if not the best day of my life so far. Have a look at this. Now, anybody you recognise in there? Apart from me, of course. That's right, it was my wedding day. Now that was a few years ago. I've got a few more wrinkles since then. But honestly, I think that was one of, if not the best day of my life so far. I had lots of friends there. My family was there. The food was delicious. We had some great music. We did some dancing. We had a lot of fun. And best of all, I've married my best friend. That's right. Now, I think I perhaps better stop there. Otherwise, it's going to get a little bit slushy, isn't it? So what for you then was your best day? And I wonder if it could have been made any better. What would have happened if Jesus himself had showed up at your best day? If he was there with you, if he was with your friends and with your family, I wonder what he could have done to have made that very special day even better. We've got a story about that today, but before we go to our story, let's go and visit Jo in her science lab.
Hello and welcome back to the laboratory. A very good morning to you. Now I have just collected the equipment for my latest experiment. Now this is a little bit unusual because I have been asked to prove whether you can pass a sharpened pencil through an inflated plastic object without busting it. Now, I think this is a little bit strange because I believe this to be impossible. But as all good scientists, I will conduct the experiment in order to prove or disprove my theory. So, here we go. One inflated plastic bag and a sharpened pencil. Well, I think we can all agree that the plastic bag definitely burst. So now, let us try with the balloon. Well now, I've done a little bit of research and I might be able to help. It seems that it is suggested that water might make a difference. I have filled both the plastic bag and the balloon with water to see if that makes a difference. First, the balloon. Here goes. I say! Well, that was quite a surprise. But now, for completeness, finally, the plastic bag. Here we go. Well, I am astonished. It appears that when there is water in the bag, you can pass a sharpened pencil through the bag without it bursting. I think you'll find that's quite a result. We're off to Phil and Christina now, and they will tell us a story which has a great deal to do with water.
Jesus turned water into wine. The best party ever! One day, Mary, Jesus, and his disciples went to a wedding in Cana. In the middle of the party, the wine ran out. Oh no! So Jesus' mother Mary said to Jesus, "We have no more wine." Jesus said to his mum, "Dear woman, that is not our problem. My time has not yet come." Mary told the servants to do whatever Jesus told them.
Jesus did not think it was time to show people he was the Son of God, but when his mum asked him to perform a miracle, he decided to do it. Standing nearby were some stone water jars. Jesus said to the servant to fill the jars with water, and when they were filled up, he asked the servant to pour some out and take it to the master of ceremonies. I'm going to put a lid on it. There we go.
I'm so nervous. There you go, Master of Ceremonies.
Oh my goodness, the water has turned into wine. The party is saved. This miracle was Jesus' first miracle. Jesus decided to turn water into wine to give an important message. He wanted to show people that he came to earth to bring them joy and to show them that he was the Son of God. Jesus came so that we would have something to celebrate. He did not come to earth just to make some wine. He came so that we could be filled with real joy. He did this by coming to earth to die on the cross and save us from our sins.
So kids, next time you're at a party, think about the time that Jesus turned water into wine and remember how he can give us all something to celebrate.
Hi everyone, we're in the kitchen again today and we're going to have a go at making something really fun and really tasty. We're going to make some surprise cupcakes. They look really good, so let's give them a go. Okay, so let's get started. To make the cupcakes, you'll need 170 grams of butter, sugar and self-raising flour, along with 3 eggs. I've also got an electric whisk with me, just to make it a little bit easier. So first we're going to pop in the sugar, and the butter into the bowl. And we're going to give it a good whisk. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is add in the egg. We're going to add 1 egg at a time. We'll crack it and make sure you don't get any shell. And then give it a good whisk. Okay, so once you've added all your eggs and given them a good whisk, this is what they should look like. We're now going to carefully spoon the flour into the rest of the mixture. And we're going to whisk it very slowly because it can be messy. There we go. You want to whisk it till you've got a nice pale colour like that. Okay, so now what I've done is I've lined my cupcake tin with the cases and got everything ready to fill them. Now I like to use an ice cream scoop, but a normal spoon will work just as well. So I'm going to start filling them up until they're all full. Okay, so now they're all filled, we're going to pop them in the oven at 180 degrees for around 15 minutes or until they feel really spongy. Now for the icing, what you'll need is 80 grams of butter, 250 grams of icing sugar and a tablespoon of milk. What I've done here is I've just softened the butter in the bowl by giving it a good mix to make it a little bit easier for us later. We're now going to add a little bit at a time the icing sugar, but be careful because it can get messy. Okay, now it's all mixed in, I'm going to add a splash of the milk and give it a good whisk to make sure it's all combined. And there we go. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part. What I've got here is all the decorations and things we'll need to make these surprise cupcakes. I've put my icing in an icing bag. I've got another icing nozzle and a selection of treats. So what you're going to need to do is take your icing nozzle. We're going to make a hole in the centre of the cake. I'm going to push down and make a hole. And grab a little spoon and scoop out the cake mixture. Now I'm going to put these treats on the inside, but you can put whatever you like. So I'm going to grab another little spoon and fill the cake with these treats. Want to really stuff them in and get them all inside. There we go, and now we're going to do some icing. Now I've put my icing in a piping bag, but you can just spread it on top if you'd like to. So you're going to press down in the middle and make a nice, pretty swirl. And there we go. Now you can decorate it however you like. I've got some sprinkles with me. So I'm going to put some rainbow sprinkles on top. And then you keep going until all your cakes are finished. You can put different treats in each one or the same thing. It's completely up to you. Now let's cut inside and see what happens. And there we go. You've got some lovely surprise cupcakes. And we've done it. Don't they look so delicious? All that's left to do now is have a think about who you're going to give your surprise cupcake to.
Hello kids, we're still missing you. Hopefully it won't be too long before we meet again. But this week we're going to make bracelets from paper or card, and there are some words printed on the back. To make the bracelet, you can either use the template provided, which has a choice of 5 different shapes: a rainbow, a flower, a butterfly, a star or a heart, or you can design your own. Whichever you use, you will need scissors and colouring pens. For this one you will also need a ruler, because you will need to draw a line about 15 centimetres long for the size of the wrist, another line about 2 centimetres away from that. Then you can draw your half shape. In my case I've chosen to do a heart. And there's the right hand half of the heart, and we're going to mark where the slots should be cut with an orange pen. I have chosen to use one of the templates for my bracelet, and for this one I have a butterfly. Once you've decided what design to use for your butterfly, you can then begin colouring it in. It's up to you what design you use, but make sure that the other half looks the same. Once you've finished colouring, the end result should be something like this, with your two halves of your butterfly, or whichever shape you've chosen to use, at each end of your wristband. After this, you simply need to cut around the edge and then cut your slots, one from the top, one from the bottom. To finish, connect it together like this, and then the words on the back will remind us that Jesus is always with you.
Hey kids, another great week. You know, we talk a lot about Jesus being with us, and that's wonderful. But it's not just that he's with us all the time, but he does the most amazing things in us and with us and through us. Remember how when Jesus showed up at the wedding, he made an amazing difference to those who were there. Now that was his first miracle, and I think one of my favourites. And it reminds me that Jesus is interested in every area of my life. That I can trust him with everything, with the things that make me sad and the things that make me happy, with the things that make me frustrated or confused, as well as the things that I celebrate, not to mention the things I don't really understand. Now, even as an adult, I need to remember that. I need to remember that Jesus shows up in every area of my life, that is interested in every part of me, every part of what I do and where I go, every friendship that I have. And that he's working in my life and in the lives of those around me. Another great week, lots to think about, lots to do, lots to talk about with those at home. We'll see you again soon. God bless. Bye.
Noah built the most enormous boat that kept the birds and animals afloat. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Noah lived his life for him. Moses led his people through the sea, taking them away from slavery. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Moses lived his life for him. Oh, thank you, that all through history you were faithful. Thank you, that you are just the same when it comes to me. When it comes to me. David fought Goliath and he won. A humble shepherd boy became a king. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and David lived his life for him. Daniel was inside a lion's den, but God brought him to safety once again. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Daniel lived his life for him. Oh, thank you, that all through history you were faithful. Thank you, that you are just the same when it comes to me. When it comes to me. Jesus died to take away our sin, so we could get to know our God again. The Lord is